Trevor Dueck with MMA Sucka here beside the man, the myth, and the legend. Really needs no introduction, Mr. Royce Gracie himself. Royce, first off, welcome to Vancouver, man.
Thank you.
Yeah. You like the heat? Does it remind you a little bit of home?
Yeah, I like this weather. Much better than snow.
Yeah. Well, if you come here 10 months of the year, it's pretty much rain. So, hey, I wanted to ask you because since we have you here, there's so many questions going through my head right now, all the things I've always wanted to ask you. First off, let's get it right out of the way because a lot of people are asking, will you ever get into the cage again and have another fight? Because all your fans would love to see you compete again.
Can never say no.
Yeah.
Can never say never, man. It's never, hey.
Yeah.
That never is a very strong word.
Yeah, it's true. It's true, especially in this sport. And
I don't have any plans right now.
No plans. Okay. All right. Well, is there a guy out there that say, you'd be interested in maybe competing against?
Been there, done that.
Yeah. Excellent. My partner here, Jeremy, he's sort of on the outskirts here. I'm going to let him ask a couple questions as well.
Definitely. So back in the day, the UFC, Dana White, Lorenzo Fertitta, they took over the business from your family. What were your thoughts on that, and how did you see the sport grow in your eyes?
Man, when they took over, they got together the boxing commission and made it much bigger. I mean, I don't really agree with the rules and the whole thing, but it's equals for both fighters. The rules are equal for both fighters. They turned the UFC into like a dream for all the young kids. So they wake up in the morning, they go train. They wanna be the next Michael Jordan. They wanna be the next Baby Ruth. They wanna be the next Royce Gracie. Yeah. So they get up in the morning. All they do is train now.
Definitely, and we've seen guys just training Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, sort of like yourself back in the day, showcasing the sport of Jiu-Jitsu. Now guys are coming in like Rory McDonald, who is an all-around MMA fighter. How are you seeing these guys progress compared to when you fought back in the day?
Well, back then was more of a style against a style. Today is a fighter against a fighter. Everybody do stand-up, everybody do grappling, everybody do jiu-jitsu. So it's who set up the better strategy for the fight.
And we all know your thoughts on time limits. You're not a fan of them. You would much rather have an endless battle until the winner is set. Do you think we'll ever see that back in the day with a promotion coming into the organizations where there are no time limits and going back to the Vale Tudo sort of style?
It's very hard to do that with pay-per-view because you can't control the time. You cannot buy a 10-hour window, so it's very hard to do that way now.
Yeah, one last question for myself, and I'll pass it back over to Trevor. Earlier this week, there was a video out of the UFC roundtable where you made mention that your father said that he wanted you to showcase the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and not strike. Can you just make mention of that a little bit more?
If I won the fights by beating people up, would just be one more martial art out there. By subduing the opponents without hurting them, even though they're professional martial artists, professional fighters, it shows a lot of technique.
I gotta tell you, man, I'm absolutely starstruck right now because I grew up watching you. Right, you were my idol, my hero, and I remember watching that very first UFC one, and I sat at my couch and you see the sumo wrestler, the guy with the one glove, and then there was you, and I just laughed. I said, "Who's that guy?" With his gi, and then at the end of UFC one, I was like, wow. I gotta tell you, man, it was awesome. Just pretend we're at a bar and we're having some drinks here right now, okay? Give us your favorite, not just UFC moment, but your favorite MMA moment that you look back in your career fondly.
Man, I don't know. You win the first UFC, 3 fights in one night. Maybe the second UFC, 4 fights in one night. Maybe against Dan Severn, who is the beast, beating him. Or maybe it's against Sakuraba, an hour and 45 minutes. Or maybe against Akebono, 6'8", 490 pounds. It's tough to pick one, man.
You get, no kidding. Babe Ruth of the sport, pretty much. But do you ever for instance, we're here at a seminar and it's a private seminar, but do you get a lot of these where you come out to seminars and in this case, a bunch of law enforcement guys who want to learn jiu-jitsu? Do you get a lot of that?
I spend about 6 to 7 months of the year traveling all over the world teaching. So yes, I do.
Okay, I'm going to ask you again. When are we going to see Royce Gracie in the cage? Come on.
No, I don't know.
Oh, man.
Anything sign up. I wish I could. Hey.
Because, I mean, you were pushing the UFC because you wanted a fight in Brazil. Are you still wanting that? No, but you were requesting it, were you not?
Nope.
No, was that just rumor?
It's just rumors.
So would you, though,
Like you created.
That said, would you like to fight again in Brazil?
Been there, done that.
Yeah.
Been there, done that, man. You gotta know when to stop on this business.
Now, we've seen guys like Chuck Liddell move to the back side of things in the offices of the UFC. Could you see yourself in that sort of position, maybe working in the offices in UFC Brazil?
Good.
That does it. That's a very vague answer there, Royce.
Good. Sit down, the way you put it, sitting down in the office, hell no. I'm outdoor guy, man.
Has the UFC presented that to you at all?
No, we haven't talked about it.
Royce, we really appreciate you doing this, man. We can't believe we're talking to you, but we're pretty stoked. And good luck with your seminar. I don't want to keep you any much longer, but we really appreciate it, man. All the best to you.
Thank you.
Cheers.